Hello and welcome back to Mind Over Matter, the M.O.M podcast. Yay! This is season 1, episode 2, and today I have a very special guest. She's not only my bestie, but she is a wife, she's a mom, she is an entrepreneur, she's a thriving content creator, she's an author, and she's a cancer survivor. And we are so happy to have you on set. Please welcome Karen BUGINGO. Hi, girl.
Whoa, hi, girl. How you doing?
I'm good.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for saying yes. Of course. Come on.
You know, I'm always literally a call away.
Oh, and you've proven that over and over again.
Amen.
Thank you for being here.
Of course.
Yes. So how have you been?
I've been well.
Okay.
Juggling all those titles you've given me.
You're doing the Lord's work.
Amen. Hallelujah. Every day.
Yes.
So I've been well, trying to find the balance,
Yeah.
which I think I am.
You're getting there?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
2025, I'm really trying to find a good balance.
Is it the quarterly resolutions is only
wait.
2025?
I had already started them.
Okay.
End of 2024, I had started good, balanced life, no burnouts, please.
No burnout. Ooh,
no
that
burnouts.
part.
I
No
know.
burnouts. Yeah.
Not my portion.
Yes, please.
Plus, my very big age that I'm approaching, I cannot be stressing, please.
Yeah.
My age does not allow me to stress.
And also, you can't have that skin glowing when you're stressed. Purr.
I cannot take my supplements and add stress. It's killing the purpose.
Channel goes.
Yeah.
Before we dive into our conversation for today, I'd like to start off with a little icebreakers to get to know our guest a little bit more. You think you know her? Let's see. So, Karen, what's one thing people would be surprised to know about you?
One thing.
They think they know, but they don't. And
One
they'll be
thing people
surprised.
would be surprised
Yes.
is that I dropped out of uni.
Okay.
Even you, do you know?
I did not know. We've never talked about this.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Okay.
So I dropped out of uni. I was in journalism school.
Okay. Where ya? Oh, that's he. Unaweza kwa tutangiria hashush. Do we do like follow-up questions on these icebreakers?
I was at Mount Kenya University doing journalism school. I was ready to serve you tea.
Yeah.
Literally, I dropped out before I entered my last year.
Why? If it's not a secret.
No, school was not for me.
Okay.
School was not for me. I feel like, please, I will use what I know.
Eh.
I'll use what life has taught me.
So do you ever think of like going back?
I don't.
You don't?
What?
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But I've taken,
Courses?
I've just taken like some short courses for business and a few, like if you can teach me something in a month or two, kabisa, don't put me through school. 3 years, what?
Hours of assignments, attending class in
Let me
town,
tell
like
you,
in person.
I always say, for me to even make it out of high school, I'm very sure they're like, even me making out of primary school, they're like, you did your best. Yeah, school has never been a thing for me.
Okay. We'll do 3 icebreakers because I feel like we're a shush.
But we just started
we started strong, but we love it. So number 2, what is your guilty pleasure as a mom? An entrepreneur. First give us your guilty pleasure as a mom and then a guilty pleasure as an entrepreneur.
My guilty pleasure as a mom. What are my guilty pleasures?
Kidding.
Watching vlogs.
Ooh.
Yes. I feel like watching vlogs is, even when I'm like overly stimulated, like, and I just feel like I need something to like.
To live life in other people's eyes and see, eh? Because you're like, that's the life.
Yeah, when I look at like travel vlogs or like people that I follow, entrepreneurs, and see like the life they live, and I'm like, it just makes me husa, you know? I feel like I'm relaxed.
Oh, nice. So as an entrepreneur?
As an entrepreneur, spending my money that I worked for, please, can't come and die.
Isn't it all of us as our guilty pleasures?
Honestly.
Being able to, I feel like as an entrepreneur, being able to spend
the money that you've worked for.
I don't feel like the business is in a loss. You're like,
Steve Harvey was spend the money, offer yourself like a first class ticket to somewhere, and then come back.
You work hard.
Let me tell you. You will work like your life depends on it, and I believe it.
Yes.
Once you offer yourself something, because I remember last year I offered myself a trip to Dubai. Let me tell you, this energy,
birthday trip we saw.
this energy, this hard work, this me fighting with my photographers and what. I'm like, it's okay. I will be on a yacht one this year. It's okay.
Yes. Okay, so one last icebreaker before we dive into the conversation of today. Let's look for a fun one. Sipjo. Anyway, let's let the people hear this part. If you had to choose between unlimited coffee or unlimited naps, which one are you picking?
Like,
we all know.
If you know me, you know. Even right now, when do we wrap this up so I can go nap?
Okay, so you've heard her, you've listened a little bit about her, so let's dive into the conversation. You hold a lot of titles, as you've said. You were a wife. How is that, by the way?
I mean, the glow speaks for itself. This glow is not only sponsored by water,
right?
It's sponsored by love.
We love it so much. We love to hear positive PR on marriage.
Please, guys, get married. Don't let the social media fool you.
Yes, please.
Good over here.
Please,
you know we're healthy. But yeah, marriage is good. Marriage is going well. We're gonna be 5 years this Saturday.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we're making.
So by the time we release this anniversary, the anniversary is really past. So, but yeah, happy anniversary!
Thank you.
How does it feel to be married for 5 years?
It feels good.
Yeah,
it feels good.
Mostly if you're married to your person.
You know.
Yes.
That part.
Yes.
That part. Yes.
Lovely. Karen is a very thriving entrepreneur on these streets. Tell us about your journey.
My journey as an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Why
entrepreneurship?
Yes, that's what I was getting to. So I do believe that what sparked entrepreneurship for me is how I grew up. I grew up surrounded by entrepreneurs. I was raised by my grandmother. She was a boss babe, hard. And so I grew up looking at her, looking at the freedom that she had. This woman would clock in at 10 a.m. and clock out at 2 p.m. Do you understand?
Oh, wow.
I was like, big purr. That right there
is what
I want.
Okay.
And she was hardworking. So I feel like she is the one who introduced work smart and not hard.
Work smart and
not hard. Because she didn't work hard. She worked smart. Few hours of the day, but she
very productive.
So I grew up having that as an example. So I knew entrepreneurship was, first of all, I think it was in my blood, and then it was also what I grew up looking at, and also the fact that I started entrepreneurship into something that I love. I love fashion. I love accessories. I love just looking. So just like... Yeah, it really makes me excited.
I love that for you. Could we maybe talk about a little bit more about your growing up, your childhood, something like that?
I feel like that. First of all, I feel like that's a long time ago.
Okay.
My childhood. Am I hinting my age? When people tell me to talk about your childhood, I'm like, anyway, where do we begin? I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I had a very normal childhood. I mean, not normal in the sense that I didn't grow up with my parents. My parents passed away when I was very young. Okay. And so I didn't have
May their souls rest in peace.
Amen. So I didn't grow up as the traditional normal childhood, mom and dad in the house. But I think I grew up with a good base with my grandma and my aunt and my brother.
And all those values were instilled into you.
So the values I have now, I feel like my grandma really tried her best. Plus, she adopted my brother and I when she was 54. So raising toddlers in your 50s is crazy.
Wow.
I feel like she did her best to really teach us the best that she could, and I'm definitely who I am because of her. You know, the kuba habanu. I feel like I really get that from her. Being compassionate, also loving people.
Loving people, girl.
Yeah, that's what I grew up watching. Like, she was really welcoming. I mean, she had no sense of boundaries whatsoever. But but I'm trying to apply her method, but with some boundaries. Because, you know,
Yes.
our people, you got to set a few boundaries here
I
and
hear
there.
you.
But, yeah, my childhood was, I would definitely say I had a good childhood.
Let's dive into a little bit of your journey. If you know Karen, you know she's a cancer survivor. Would you mind sharing that a little bit? So that will also venture into being an author, because you wrote a book. My name is Life. Tell us a little bit about that journey and the resilience you had to go through. This, I mean, I can't imagine.
My cancer story is, so I was diagnosed with cancer at the age of 19. And yeah, I was very young.
Very young.
I had to drop out of high school, go for treatment and all that. It was hard looking at it now. Now that I'm like mature and older and I actually understand what was going on, I feel like I went through a lot, and that's why after I had to seek professional help, I went to therapy, and that really helped me pick up the pieces, because it was a very tough journey, because I didn't understand. I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't understand the depth of what was going on. I was just flowing through life for like about 2 to 3 years until I had to sit down and realize how I had missed out on life. My age mates were graduating, joining uni, and I also kind of lost myself because I started like going to things, thinking that this is where I should be, this is what I should be doing. I'm trying to catch up, trying to catch up with people, trying to catch up with life, and I kind of got lost in the middle of all that. But going back to my cancer story,
How did you find out?
So I found out when I went to India.
Okay.
When it was very, very advanced.
Okay, so the first time, or you didn't know what it was then?
I mean, I had gone to Nairobi and I kind of suspected it.
Okay.
But then they weren't like, I don't think that was back in 2010? No, 10, no. 11, 12.
Okay.
So I don't think we were that advanced in Africa, because now, now we're really on top of it. But like 10, 12 years ago, it wasn't really a thing, even in Nairobi. So they weren't sure of my diagnosis, but they kind of suspected it.
Like I'm trying to see before the whole process of like going to seek professional help, being diagnosed, like the first signs you're like, this might be it, or did you just?
Oh,
you didn't know what was happening. You like.
I mean, I was weak. I was losing a lot of weight. I was having very complicated health issues. It started with my leg, and then it went to my stomach, and then it was just going all around. And I went to Nairobi. They couldn't find what was wrong with me. They just gave me like a few medications here and there. You know, a doctor will just give you something.
Yeah, painkillers.
Something to make you feel good.
Yeah.
I took that until it got worse and worse and worse. And then at home, they had the idea of taking me to India. And when I went to India, like day 2, they had like a diagnosis. They were like, yeah, you have stage 4 cancer and you need to start treatment immediately. Like the same day I was diagnosed, the same day I started treatment.
How was that for you?
Again, I was 19 years old. I didn't know
what was happening.
I didn't know what was going on. I just felt like, and also I had been suffering for like a long time. So for me, it was just a matter of at least they know what's wrong with me. Let's get a move on to things.
Yeah.
Let's start the treatment.
Oh, the not knowing part, like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah, I feel like what saved me in that period is the innocence of being a child. Because, like, cancer is bad, but you don't, like, I feel like adulthood really gives you so much maturity and so much, you're really into your head. But at the time, I was just like, okay, I'm sick. Let me get treatment. And then...
So for how long did this go on for before you...
2 years. So I was on treatment. I was on treatment for 1 year, and then I had to go back to India, have surgery. So my recovery period was about 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you after that, when were you declared cancer free?
I was declared cancer free July 2013.
I would like to wear that T-shirt that says my friend was declared cancer free. But yeah, okay, that's really amazing.
Yeah.
So would you say that journey does it have an impact on your life today? Or you're like, I was young, that happened, it passed, it's not really... I know your story is way bigger than just being a cancer survivor.
I feel like it has had an impact on my faith.
Okay.
Because I feel like at that time I kind of got close to God, but not in a deeper way that I am now. But then all that built up to who I am what my faith is rooted in right now. Because when I go through life, I'm just like, if God got me out of that situation, He can definitely get me out of any situation. So it kind of gave me a sense of feeling like everything's just gonna be okay, you know?
Yeah.
So I have a friend of mine, like, she told me that my attitude is because I had a near-death experience.
Oh.
So now I'm just like, guys,
I know, like,
relax.
I can't come and die also.
You actually cannot come and die. You know, that's my logo.
Yeah, I know. You're like, I can't come and die.
My theme is, imagine I can't die. If it's not working, you know.
It's not working. We love that.
Let's move.
We love that. Namavyo ko stress.
Yeah.
I mean, that is very powerful. I would like to venture into your motherhood journey. I can't help but wonder, do you think that a season of your life, health-wise, kind of also affected in your decision being a mom or going into it? So
with the treatment I underwent, which is chemotherapy, there were chances that it was going to affect my fertility. But that has never... even when the doctor told me, let me tell you, faith is the powerful thing. Because deep down, you know that God is the one who does what He needs to do. And also, I feel like for some reason when I was in India, because I was surrounded by Indians, you know, Indians don't believe in God.
Okay.
They have like their own gods. For some reason when I was in India, I felt like God was more present with me. So I remember when the doctor was explaining to me, like, you know, when it's time for you to conceive, it's gonna take time. Your fertility might be affected in a way. But I remember thinking, also maybe because I was young, because why are you telling me about fertility
at 19? Yeah, you're like, what's that?
You know, for me, it felt like, please relax. You know, so I didn't give it much. But now I understand it's because I knew that's not my testimony. That's not my story, you know?
Yes.
So, but then I remember when I met my husband, I kind of brought up this topic. And my husband is an oncologist, those who didn't know. He's a cancer doctor. So I remember when we were dating, I kind of brought this up. And it was like, you know, my fertility, he looked at me, he's like, first of all, that's not your testimony. Second, I'm a doctor, I know this, and don't worry about it, like, give it to God.
Do you ever worry that, okay, I give it to God, but do you ever worry that like it could be genetic or anything?
Mine isn't.
Okay. Ooh,
the type of cancer I had is not.
Okay.
But there are cancers that are...
Yeah, okay.
You know, but mine wasn't.
Yeah. Tuveyo. Let's
thank you.
Yes, so you are mom.
Yes.
So beautiful baby girl, Sophie. She's so lovely. How is motherhood treating you?
Child. Yeah. Motherhood, I feel like I'm at that stage of motherhood where it's not... It's enjoyable, but it's work. It's hard work. She's 3.5 now, and I'm still in the ghetto of motherhood. But it's still a beautiful experience knowing that there is this tiny human being. Now she's in a phase where she really just wants to be like me. She will walk in my room. She wants to hold the bag the way I hold it. Now, I think it's getting better, but it's still not easy. Motherhood is hard. Motherhood is work. That's why I keep telling myself motherhood is a ministry, because
it is a ministry.
Like,
you are shaping this little human into somebody, right?
I'm responsible of a human.
A whole human being.
It's like pressure, but
not
pressure at the same time. But it's It's a beautiful experience. And I'm actually hopeful that I'll get to a point where I'll actually enjoy it. But right now, I'm more in the nurturing stage. And it's tough. But
Yeah.
every day, if I come up with a way to make it easy for me, because I also want to enjoy it. So I do set terms to help me enjoy the little bit.
Yeah. So
that I
what
can
would you
squeeze
say,
out.
what are one of the lessons or lesson that you've learned from your child? From
Patience.
Sophie.
Patience.
Patience.
Yeah.
Yes.
First of all, I'm raising, physically she's a girl, but internally
She's a boy?
she's a boy.
Okay, don't begin confusing us. Explain, please.
She's climbing, she's doing. So I raise her like she's a boy, basically. With her energy, I take her to things that make her very energetic. So I take her like to playgrounds. She's not.
But I feel like girls nowadays are also like,
very active.
very
huh?
active. Yeah.
Yeah, so she has so much energy, so I try to put her in environments where she can release the energy instead of climbing the chairs at home and the windows. But yeah, patience. She's really taught me to be patient and to give her patience as well, to give her grace, to be like she's a child. She's probably battling emotions inside. She's trying to figure herself. So yeah, patience, really.
Wow, that's patience is a very powerful tool. People don't know this because I also learned patience. Like one thing my children have taught me is patience. Cause oh my God, there's a video I saw on Instagram where like they say like you love on your emotions around your child change every 6 seconds.
Yeah.
You'll be like, oh
I
my
believe
God,
you.
you're so cute. You love on them so much.
Yeah.
6 seconds later, you wanna die. You wanna.
Yeah. 1 hour ago,
Yeah.
I picked her from school. We're hugging. How was your day? Kissy, kissy, kissy. Then she takes my bag, flips it. Just a bit men. Yeah. Nari mukubisi. So we came from 100 to 0 real quick. I
Real-
thought that's motherhood.
Yeah.
You come from lovey-dovey, my baby, to
Yeah.
so yeah, it's a roller coaster.
Wow. So you work from home, right? And recently I came across a video that she's called Emma somebody. She's on Instagram. I think she's the CEO of different companies, Schemes, Good America, the
Good
jeans.
American.
It's Good America, it's the jeans, the Kardashians kind of. So she's the CEO or co-founder of multiple enterprises or companies. Correct me if I'm wrong, but basically that's how I remember it. And she was on a panel of women, and she was sharing something about how working from home as a woman, as a mom also, let me just put mom factor because also the concentration factor of it, being able to concentrate and build an empire when you're working from home with your toddlers, it's kind of hard. And she was emphasizing so much on how it's really hard to build and be the CEO and be the leader that you want to be and grow working from home as a mom, as a woman, right? Because you need like the community, you need to surround yourself with people who are thinking like you. On the other hand, I will hear your take on it, right? I would love, because you have worked from home literally your entire entrepreneurship journey, right?
Yeah.
And you've thrived. We've seen you've thrived from that, and we'd love to hear how you do it. Because personally, when she was sharing this, I was like, okay, there's a little bit truth to it. Not all entirely, but because my take on it was more on when I recently started working from home, right? It was so hard. Like I'm trying to reply to customers, and then there's a toddler crying. And also I end up not having to expand my, I don't know, the thinking of the business. But when I step out and I meet like an entrepreneur like yourself, we got to talking like uninterrupted. I feel like I have seen how it has impacted me positively, more than just working from home. The productivity that I get working from outside my home setting to working from home. So let's have this conversation, because that triggered something in me. I'm like, okay, there are moms out there who want to work for themselves, work from home, be able to take care of their children as well, be present, but also be productive and build these big companies and enterprises. So what's your take on it as a mother who has been doing this for?
In the beginning, it was hard. In the beginning, it was definitely so hard, especially when Sophie was a few months old, because I have an office at home. But kids, when they've started crawling, when they've started walking. I think also when they start walking, that's the stage that's unbearable, to have them at home and work at the same time. So I had to set some terms with my nanny and tell her, when I'm in a meeting, please go on the other side of the house, stay in the living room. But again, that's not sustainable. That is why Sophie was in daycare when she was a year and a half almost, because it's like, first of all, she's not getting anything from being at home. Number two, I need to make this environment work for me. So the only way that could happen is if I sent her to daycare to spend there the day. And definitely being a stay-at-home working mom with kids at home, that one is close to impossible. That one I have to be frank and tell you that that's close to impossible, because the crying, even on the weekend,
you can't even focus. You can't even focus what you're doing. Yeah.
Even if you know your child is in good hands, she or he's with the nanny, but the crying of the child just
distorts even your thinking.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I remember I would have, even now, like sometimes she's like on holiday, and in those 2 weeks are the toughest weeks, because it's like I'm in my office, I'm trying to respond to, I'm on a call and I'm discussing matters, being a serious boss babe.
Yes.
And there's a child crying in the back.
You can't.
And you're like, every 5 minutes, you're like, excuse me. You go, excuse me. You come.
Yeah.
Definitely, that one is hard. But do I believe that if your child is out of the picture, as in like they're in daycare, it's possible to build that community, to build that circle when you are in your house? Definitely.
Okay.
And how I was able to do it is, I think personally, I have a big social media presence. So I really put a lot of effort into putting myself out there, seeing fellow entrepreneurs, and like having a conversation with them via Instagram.
Virtually, yes.
Virtually. I remember I also did like a few courses in my house, online, like a financial coach, even therapy, I do it in my house. Because as a mom, you're really overstimulated.
Yes.
So I don't see myself having to go out every day, being in those spaces with other entrepreneurs. Though I feel like once in a while.
Okay.
Let's say there's an event over the weekend, you pop in. But honestly, I'm at a stage in my life where I feel like I need to be inside my house in order to think properly, in order to have a clear mind on how to move forward with my business. So being at home, being a stay-at-home working mom for me is highly recommended. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Okay. When I talk about balance, before we actually close up on that subject, it also brings like work-life balance in picture, right? Because I believe most moms can say this. I don't know, you tell me how you feel about it, but there is no doing it all at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to be willing to say, hey, these 2 hours, I'm going on this call, and like, I do not want to hear a child cry. At this point, I am not here. Headphones on, I am on a call. Right? Another mom will say that's really selfish. You can't do that. That's why I'm saying what works for this mom may not work for this mom. Because now, if we are working from home, I want to be present for our children, and we can set systems to make us thrive in life. That means we're not doing anybody any favors. Yeah. Because your child is not fully having you, like, your presence isn't fully there for your child, because now you're like in between. Like, personally, recently I was. So by the time this episode comes up, I would have shared that I quit my job. Yeah, because the introductory video shares that. Oh, okay. So when I quit my job, of course, my main focus was to focus on my children, my home, be present for my children and my business, and of course, this space. Yeah. So, but the first month, because from January is when I was like, hey, I'm doing this. Yeah. After the holidays, I like, yeah. So I witnessed the struggle. Like, the dynamics had changed. Like, I have to be there 24/7. I'm here. When do I know when to work and when not to work? Because even at home, the nannies will be like, she's crying. Or she'll hear my voice, I'm on her phone, she'll be like, Mama, I can't not I can't ignore
Yeah,
that. I cannot go to her when she's like, mama, mama, mama. So I get the whole thing of it's really hard to build unless you set systems and be
Yeah.
willing to say, hey, today my main focus is on this project that I'm doing. Pour your whole heart there. That's it. Tomorrow it is play date with my son. I'm taking my son out to
Yeah.
play. The next day, I'm taking my daughter to maybe for swimming lesson, whatever it is, whatever activity it is, but with a schedule, with a system, and
Yeah.
also the help to be trained. If I am here, I'm actually not here.
Yeah.
But then, like, before I decided to be like, you know what, let me go reopen the store, I believe I'm taking over the podcast. I'm sharing. It's our guest supposed to be sharing.
No, please, go.
Yeah, so when I decided to move out of the house, to like go reinstall like the store somewhere, because I wasn't able to pack those orders in peace.
Yeah.
When the baby's not there, pulling the envelope with me, pulling this, and I'm like, I can't do this, right? So for me, that didn't work for me so much. But again, the beauty of it is like when I say but if I did that, I was trying to build a system anyway. That's what. So my son goes to school from 7, right? And then by that time already, the girl when up at 6, she's also up. They're both up by 6, and then unless when I decide to stay in bed longer with her. But now 6 we're up. The boy is getting ready for school. By 7 he's out. By that time the baby should have some milk, and then she's already going back to sleep. So for me, I'm like from 9 to noon. Those are how many hours? 3 hours. So those 3 hours were dedicated to working. Imagine I'm not here. I'll tell you, imagine I'm invisible. But now the child will cry, but it's not for the week. It's not for the week. Working for a stay-at-home working mom it has a different set of respect from me. It's not for the week. It needs it, at least when they're grown up. You're able to do that. So how were you able to set these systems up? And also the mom guilt that comes with you're working but your kid is crying there. Please share.
Let me tell you, it's one of those. I think I sat down early on. I don't know how.
Before kids?
No, like right after
Okay.
giving birth. I sat down. I was like, you know what? I cannot be everywhere at the same time. I cannot give 100 to everything at the same time. So I decided to, like you said, we can't have it all.
Yes.
Once I put that in my head, I'm like, you know what? When you're focused on one thing, you have to be okay with the other thing not working out the way you want it.
Yeah.
So if
You have
I'm
to
in
be
my
okay.
office, yeah.
And how do you
have to
set
be
that
okay.
muscle?
I don't know, cause it's like first
How
of
do
all,
you
those
be
are,
okay?
all of those are your babies, by the way.
I know.
Your business is your baby, your career is your baby, and your baby is your baby. Because you can't. The moment you decide
That would be nice. Your business is your baby, your career is your baby, and your baby is your baby.
there you go. Because it's like if you want to have your baby and everything else is crumbling in the back, that is not who I am. I cannot be. No, shout out to those moms who just focused on motherhood and that's the only
That's
thing.
that's
That's
the journey.
That's all they think about. Shout out to you because that can never be me. So sitting down and being like, okay, this child I can go away from her for like 2 hours and focus on my other empires. Because I know I won't be a good mother to her if everything else in the background is crumbling. Those play dates that we're going to set for Saturday, I can't be seated here knowing that my shipments have come and they're not being cleared on time. My clients are getting tired. People are complaining. Like, nobody, I won't be present
You won't,
as I'm with her.
Yeah.
So those are sacrifices you have to make. You're like, okay, she will be with the nanny. First of all, I know she's safe. 100% guarantee. Now, nothing is wrong with her. She's not in harm. That's number one.
Yes.
She's just crying because kids cry.
Yeah.
And that's okay. So I'll leave her, I'll go focus on that. And once I'm satisfied with where the workload of the day has gotten, and I'm like, okay, you know what? That one is also shut down. My phone is in the office, my phone is in the room. Now I'm focusing on her. We have like small things we play. She loves books. She brings me book. And also there's this quote I saw that quality over quantity in motherhood.
Absolutely.
I would rather spend 1 hour uninterrupted with her than having the whole day where I'm like on my phone, like, but it's like move, because there's sometimes when she'd be like, mommy, da-da. She
Mommy
brings
look,
me,
mommy look,
mommy look,
mommy look.
and I'm like, no,
The
Sophie.
mommy looks.
Or like and then I have for like 2 minutes, like, oh wow, Sophie, okay, go on, and then I go like on my phone, that's very unproductive,
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, 2 hours, 1 hour. On the weekend, I take her swimming, no focusing. I'm not trying to shoot. I don't have things pending. I don't have deliverables pending. I don't have anything. Focusing on her.
Yes.
And that's 3 years and a half so far, and it's working for me.
It's working.
I've not felt any mom guilt because I'm like...
Tell us about that. Like I know on your social media, on your Instagram, by the way, we'll put her handle over here. Please do follow her. She has amazing content over there, and we'll also talk about her content creation journey and how she's thriving in that industry. But now, mom guilt. You shared about for me, mom guilt is out of the window. Please help us understand how you did that, because we are struggling. We are struggling so much with mom guilt. Well, I also struggled a lot in the beginning, but I've also the things I'm doing to ease it up. But I would love to hear about your story.
I feel like obviously I've had some mom guilt, but mine is not paralyzing to the point where I put so much focus on it and it paralyzes me. It will sneak in a bit, and I will remind myself, I have systems in place for that. But mom guilt of, let's say, the most common mom guilt is having time alone, taking time for yourself. That one has never surfaced because okay, there's no way I'm in the spa living my best life and I'm like, oh my God, my child is at home missing me. She's not. Focus on you. Because one thing from experience, one thing I've realized, when I go out, when I have that spa day, when I have that solo date, when I have that solo lunch, when I come back, I have so much to pour
give
into her.
Yes.
So because I experienced that, or like when I take a trip out of town, I leave the country, when I come back, I'm very sure she also benefits from that. Because the fullness that I have in my heart, because I don't want motherhood to start feeling like it has taken who I am away from myself. Because I want myself to still be present, but also be a mom. I don't want to sit after 5 years and be like, oh my God, those first 2 years of motherhood, I lost myself. I didn't do this, I didn't do that. Now I don't know how to rediscover myself. Now
crisis,
I don't know
like the identity crisis. Yeah.
That's one thing I knew for sure because I had done a lot of work in my singlehood to see all that crumbling away. It's like, oh yeah. Let's keep the momentum.
Yes. And this is Mind Over Matter. What are the lessons or challenges that you had to face through your entrepreneurship journey or entrepreneur journey and felt like giving up, almost gave up, but pushed through because here you are?
I think when I was pregnant, because I had a very terrible pregnancy, I feel like that space, and also after giving birth, those are the times, that's the year I generally felt like, yeah, we're done. Cut the cameras.
Yeah.
We're
Cut
done.
the cameras.
No more Miss Kate Sparkles for me, because no, it was too much. And
sorry, before we continue, by the way, we talked about entrepreneur, Please tell us about what you do first. Huh? Like Miss Kate Sparkles, I'm like, people don't know what
Miss Kate Sparkles.
Yes.
So Miss Kate Sparkles is my brand. I do everything, women accessories, fashion accessories, sunglasses, watches, hair, everything accessories. Okay, not everything, but like accessories.
Yes. Yeah, and we all know accessories elevate any look.
Yes.
Like
you're back to square one.
Yeah. Yeah, so
yeah.
her company is called Miss K Sparkles Limited. Under Miss K Sparkles Limited, there is Miss K Sparkles Hair Shop, and there is the kids shop as well, where the accessories for kids. If you have a baby out there who you want to you know,
Spice it up.
yes, spice it up, you know, but you still owe us a gift.
I just remembered it's in the car. Please remind me. Baby Jera's
Over.
gift from last year, November. We are what?
Imagine,
Feb.
imagine,
It's
but we
okay.
forgive you. We
thank
know you're
you.
juggling a lot. Yes. So yeah, the challenges, the lessons you've learned. Okay, the moment. I wanna hear about the moment that you literally give up when you're pregnant, right? And you're like, Miss Kesparkos, out of the window.
Yeah,
But
when I was
then-
pregnant. No, even when I was pregnant, I think I pushed through a few months. But like after giving birth, that's when I completely closed. A lot of people don't know this,
Okay.
but Miss Kesparkos was closed for a good 3 to 4 months.
Oh wow, 4 months. That's fair. I was gonna say
That's
2
how
3 years. I was like,
hey, you know, it takes 2 weeks. It takes a month for a business. Because the thing is, my business is built on social media presence.
it's online.
It's online. So the moment you disappear, your clients, they go elsewhere, they forget about you.
Yes.
So that consistency that I keep giving to the people is what keeps the brand,
Babe, I hear you.
you know?
Yeah.
So now imagine disappearing for 4 months,
I feel like we bonded over the pregnancy struggles.
you know?
Yes.
So I disappeared from like July-ish. I think also I kind of timed the pickup season. I picked up in December, which is a high season for me, and then I came in like I never left. So that's why I think the gap is not very visible.
Visible, yes.
But internally, I could tell how it
You could tell
affected
it
me
on
the finances.
Yeah, okay.
So I had gathered enough for like restock and all that, but in terms of like, because my business is my income, so technically I didn't have an income in those 4 5 months, and I wasn't trying to pay myself from a business that's not operating. So that was when I genuinely felt like, yeah, I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm about to be a stay-at-home mom. This
Proper.
man can cover the bills and me.
Yes.
I'm about to be a second child to him. Please cover a child and me.
Yes.
You have 2 kids
How
now.
does that feel though? Being able to make your own money, take care of yourself, but then you reach a point where you can't do it and you have to solely depend on somebody else. How does that affect you as a woman, your confidence? Okay, I know when you have a good partner, it's a different story, but genuinely, like, the truth, like having that shift of like, Zara, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On that topic, there is this TikTok I saw. Someone was talking about it, and someone in the comment asked that question, like, how does it feel being supported by a man? And then someone commented, when they start giving birth, maybe we can also compare. I was like, period. I was like, period.
Wow.
I'm like, we are doing the Lord's work. The least they can do is help a sister out. You know? So when I saw that comment, I was like, that's it.
No guilt whatsoever.
No guilt, because
Yeah.
I just gave this child almost took me out. This child almost took me out. So for me to sit here and be in my princess era, I don't mind. And like you said, if you're married to a good partner, they'll understand, because even you, they can see, because you're capable of literally, right now you are at full capacity to just breathe.
Okay.
That's what you can do. That's it. So it really helps when you have good support, because you need that time. As women,
Yes.
honestly, after giving birth, I don't think no woman should ever, let me tell you,
Have to work. Yes.
no, people like you who've given 2 kids. I'm like, why are you working? When she's supposed to be like, aren't we supposed
But
to
I feel
carry
like-
you out of the car?
I feel like working also is a purpose.
Yeah, I definitely.
Because as I said, when I quit my job, I was like, I'm just gonna lounge with my kids, kiss on them, take my son to school, make their meals every day. I still try and do that.
Yeah.
But I need to have something to do. Right? Like I have to have purpose. I have to do something for myself. Like I feel like it depends on the
type of thing you're doing. Yeah, that brings me back to having a business that is your passion, that you genuinely love.
Yes.
You know? Because if it's a business you have to force yourself to do, it's really not aligned with who you are.
Yes.
If people can't look at you and see your business, then I can see how it can get foggy.
Yeah.
But like for me, I took a break. I see it as a break. Like, I mean, at the time I thought I was done, but it was basically a break for me to first clear my mind, set my goals right, and then after again, if you're also a working lady, something in you just feels like it's itching.
Yeah.
You know that can itch. You're like, what do you mean I'm just sitting here doing nothing? You know?
Let me tell you. Even the brain fog.
Even the brain fog. No,
that comes from it.
At a point, your brain tells you, sis, this is not who we are.
Yeah.
Get to work.
Get to work.
Stimulate your brain. Find something that keeps you on edge, keeps you moving. And then, you know, slowly by slowly, I got back and here we are.
And here we are. Lovely, lovely. So we're only talking about Miss K Sparkles, but you also do content creation, right? As a business, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I would like us to explore content creation as a business. Here I'm with a thriving influencer. She's made some coins from that platform, okay?
Yes.
So please tell us about that.
Let me tell you something about content creation. It's not something you wake up and start doing, honestly. You generally have to love it. And you just, the way my journey, I just started creating content because I genuinely loved creating something, filming, getting my phone, getting a tripod. If you'd see my content creator kit, you'd think this is my full-time job.
Yes.
I just love, that's my tech era.
Okay.
You know, I just have like my camera, my what. It just makes me feel good
it
to
brings
create,
you joy.
you know, to create. Also, I think I'm generally just a creative. I love creating things and seeing
So that
them.
space is not for everyone.
Generally, if creating content is not something that is deep in you, honestly, it's not one of those like you start and then you see where things are going. I don't think content creation is like that. It generally has to be in you, and then you start it because let me tell you, if you think business requires consistency, try content creation.
I know.
It requires you to be on
we've
your
done many
game.
videos of we are back. We are back. You go for 2 months.
Please,
we are back.
no. Content creation, you have to be on it, back to back. Yeah, so my journey so far, just last year, I started making serious coins. So I guess my consistency is paying off. And this year, I hope to, you know, elevate and make more coins.
So what would you say makes you stay relevant in that space?
Being me, you know, because I've had brands who approach me because of just who I am.
Being authentic.
Being authentic, that's the word. I just, whatever I film is truly just who I am. I don't create content for...
Everything is content. Don't forget to film it.
Oh, yeah.
If it is your life, that means you're just going to grab the camera and
Yeah, and you know, I'll post
if you
about
fake
food.
it, it'd be exhausting.
Yeah, if you're faking it, yeah.
You like, let me try and see. 2 weeks later, you're like, I'm burnt out.
You really
I can't
have
do
to
this.
be, it has to come natural. If you want to film food, cooking, you do that. Slowly by slowly, you pick your own audience who like to, for me, I feel like my content and my content creation is solely based of plugging people. So I want to share what I've learned, it's recipes, my skincare, where I buy things, how I ship things. I generally love plugging people. And
the sharing knowledge. Literally sharing your knowledge.
Sharing my knowledge. Like, you need a camera. I'm like, okay. Hey, pick up the camera. Let the girls know what's up. If I learn of a new something, I just want to plug the girls. Most of the shops or businesses I plug on my page are business women-owned, because I really love that. If I buy something from like a woman-owned business and it's legit, I will definitely plug it. Not all my posts are sponsored. Some are, and some are just genuine plugs. So that's to show you. For me, I just love posting, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, content creation is, you have to love it to stay the course, because also it's not something you just come in and do it 1 week, 2 weeks, and then you're like, let me see where it goes. It has to be a lifetime commitment. Because you never know when
The coin will kick in.
yeah. But anyway, that's nice. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. But now, what advice would you give to a woman or a mom who wants to start a business?
Starting a business, I've seen that actually starting a business is hard than maintaining it,
Okay.
because you have to
Wait.
first,
Come again. Starting a business is harder,
it's harder
than maintaining
than
it.
maintaining the business.
Oh, I thought starting was the hard part. Okay.
No, because people start,
Mm.
you know, just because you're starting. Like, you just pick some random thing because it's working for you, Misa, and I'm like, and then I start. And then the maintenance, I can't do it because it's
Sustainability.
not, it's not who I am. Like, Ngungu, I look at you, you love blazers, and I'm like, the blazer business is bringing in coins. Let me start it. What do I know about blazer? I have one blazer.
It's very funny when we came on set, she was like, me and you wearing a blazer.
With my Kawan blazer, I had to go and
she's like, do I wear a blazer to the set? Or, because I know Muiza wearing a blazer.
you know, like, that's again something about business. If you have, I'm a strong believer that you need to look like your business.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can't be a makeup artist and I've never seen you with a proper face beat. Or, like, I don't see you very involved in, like, makeup. You don't look like a makeup girly.
Yeah, there's this
know?
voiceover I used recently for a reel on my business page. It was like, wear your brand. Everywhere you go,
please.
wear your brand.
You know? Even right now I should be wearing shades as we're recording. But here I am.
Right. I came wearing a blazer, but I need to, like, you know, this black dress. I was like,
its moment.
It's
Let
so,
like
yeah.
a dress shine. But so
start a
identify something that you love, even if it's saturated. By
tell
the
them,
way,
tell them.
even if it's a saturated business, because how I do it is not how you're gonna do it. So if you
There's space for all of us.
there is space for all of you. What's the difference between you and that saturated is how you run your business. The consistency, the customer care, the deliverables, if I write to you and you reply to me 2 days later that you have it in store, or actually, I've already bought it somewhere else, please.
I've moved on.
So the market is saturated, but if it's something that you love, if you love skincare, start bringing skincare to the girlies. Find something that's missing in the industry. If people are bringing skincare that does this, you bring what basically. But be consistent. Put your heart, put your foot into it.
Yeah, love it. If you are starting a business, you need to know that you have to stay the course. It has to be something you love, right? Sibyo? Okay. Twatanje business. Kwaji. Okay, so.
And I think back then Reels was not a thing yet. I think I should
videos,
go back to
like
that.
It was Insta video. Or
Something like that. You know?
Just videos, yes.
So I remember that this one video I made of how to plan your wedding. Remember that
yes,
video?
I remember.
I think that's one video where I had a lot of people come to my DM to ask more details.
Oh wow!
Like, because I was talking about like vendors,
yes.
How you have to plan your things and live family out of it if you can, and
trigger lots. So
I think I really got family. Let's not. If you can, emphasis on if you can, because I know that some families that they have to be involved whether you like it or not. So I think that was a very impactful piece of content that I put out there. Educational, really.
Yeah.
You know. And also this year.
I remember the one video you said you were sharing about what you should know as a new mom or before you become a mom. Is it something like that?
Something like.
I remember watching such a video.
Things not to tell a new mom.
Oh,
yes. That was also a nice one.
Yes, things not to tell a new mom.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Questions like, are you breastfeeding? Like invasive questions.
Yeah.
Boundaries, that one also did.
Okay.
Yeah, that one did good.
Okay.
I think actually this year I need to go back to sit down videos.
Okay. Oh, okay. Now this got me to thinking. I remember a while ago when I was in my YouTube era. Well, I am in my YouTube era.
Yeah.
What's up?
There you go.
So I did a video with Paulette Mano. Hi girl,
Yes.
shout out to you about the hospital bag. Babes,
Yeah.
that video,
Yeah.
even today.
I can imagine.
How many years later? 3 years
Yes,
later.
it was very educative. Like
That video, we should do another one.
Yeah.
An updated one. What do you think?
of what? Yeah, there's new things on the market now
There are
that the
new things in
moms
the
should be
market,
taking.
and I hope hospitals improved as well.
You know,
Yeah, so that video, even now, I'm
people are
like,
still going to it.
Umva, is that video, that piece of content that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Because every new mom now who
Goes
wasn't a
to
mom
it.
3 years ago. I have
Yeah.
a friend of mine, Patricia. Hi, Trish. I've been shouting out people left, right, and
Yeah.
center. When I began creating content on YouTube, she was okay. She was like, "I support you. I'll play it, but I don't really." Now go. I don't know why it's not for me.
Yeah, because
She's like,
she wasn't a
now,
mom then.
when I became a mom, I go back to those videos
Yeah.
and I watch and I see, so that impactful content
Yeah.
is what for me like keeps me up. Like I'm like, I want to create a piece that even
Yeah.
years from now it still
People
has
will look at.
meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also one you created with like a doctor. Was she a doctor?
And the midwife?
The
is
midwife.
it quite crazy wife, crazy midwife?
What's it?
Yeah, is it?
There was one you created. Someone was talking about. Is it miscarriage? Did you ever talk
Oh
about
yeah,
miscarriage?
she's not. She's actually a chef.
She's a chef.
Yeah, but she went
Oh
through.
yes, that was
the-
very educative.
Yeah, so
Like,
she was opening up and sharing her journey. Yeah, I love those
those were good.
conversations. Yeah.
Yeah.
And before we go, we would let's ask our guest today, Karen. Now, what are the lessons you would like to pass on to our listeners and people who are watching us on all platforms? Kindly share with us what you're most proud of in life with your big age.
Very big.
And the lessons you'd like to pass on, and what's next for you?
So what I'm proud of the fact that I've been resilient through these new journeys that have been,
All the
it's-
seasons.
all seasons. So it's been like 5 years. I've been married. I've had a baby. The career has been up and down, but still I've just pushed through. So I'm really proud of myself for not giving up or getting lost. Even for the times I got lost, I picked myself back up.
That part,
Let me tell you,
yes.
picking yourself up, you have to
Yeah.
get yourself from like a whole. So digging myself out.
You're preaching to the choir. We get you.
Honestly, I have to give it to myself for really digging myself out of whatever rabbit hole that. Because everything happens fast.
Yes.
Like the whole getting married, what. Motherhood, all that. So finding myself, also seeking help and seeking professional help. Forever.
Okay.
Forever grateful for even the knowledge, the willingness, the knowing that you need help and you go for the help. You know what they talk about when they talk about therapy? It's not even about going through therapy. It's realizing that this is good for me and this is what I need.
The first step is always the
you know?
hardest. Like, yeah, self-realization and knowing that
I
need
need
the work.
this,
Yes.
and this is for me. This is the best gift to myself. And the lessons I've learned is to
that you could maybe pass on to our listeners and those who are watching us.
Yes. Lessons is, first of all, put God first in everything you do.
Amen.
And praying and really just surrendering your life to God and be like, you know what? At this point, I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do.
Yes.
My favorite line. I always tell my husband that my favorite thing to tell him is, tell me what to do.
Tell me what to do. Oh, that's nice.
So leave it up to God. And another thing is bet on yourself.
Bet on yourself.
Bet on yourself.
Bet on yourself. Oh my God.
That-
Okay, now this is the moment. Oh, sorry to cut you. Let me tell you, when I was making this decision, the one thing I emphasized on, even when I was telling my husband this, I was like, I want to bet on myself.
You need to bet
I
on
want to
yourself.
bet on myself. I want to bet on
honestly,
myself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Let me tell you, I've seen the greatest joy. You know, when you resign from your work, I told you my greatest joy is to see people go for the most risky things. And I feel like resigning from your job, that comfort, that consistency, because that kasalo that hits at the end of the month
Yes.
can really keep you comfortable.
And talk about me who left in Jan
You-
and how
of
Jan
all
can
months.
be.
So let me tell you,
Yeah.
that is the greatest form of betting on yourself because you don't know what's
Yeah,
coming.
the unknown.
The unknown. That's literally betting on yourself, going into a space that is very unfamiliar, being self-employed. It's very scary. But that's where betting on yourself, like, you know what? I can do it. So hands down, betting on yourself has never disappointed anyone.
Love it. So you've heard the one piece that you will take from this whole conversation is bet on yourself. That's it. That's it. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much, Karen, for being here and your insights and sharing your journey with us. We truly, truly appreciate it. She's not only a friend, but she's an inspiration. I remember having a conversation with you and telling you, I really want to do this. And you're like, hey, I got you. I got you. And that was a very powerful moment in my life. And the list of my friends, you ranked yourself up here. I can rank. Carry on, Jere.
I have 2 stars.
Yeah.
For being a good friend.
Yeah. So do not forget to share this. Someone who needs a little inspiration, and subscribe and share and comment, leave a review, and let us know what was the most impactful moment of this conversation and what your views are. Thank you. Until next time. Bye.
Bye-bye. Make sure to subscribe.